Hello. Happy Mindset Monday. How are we doing? Who do we got here? I'm trying to pull up this live stream on my iPad so I can see the comments. Any hoodles? There we go. Oh, sorry. Okay. Let's just get that. How we doing? Okay, who we got? Arby, Absorber, Baby Pink, Panda Bear, Next Lifetime, Brendan, hello. Lana, Caitlin. Caitlin just got out of class. Hello. This is more exciting than class. Tamara, Nyana, F Dreamer, and Kita. Yua, Brandon, hello. The cat is here to say hi. Despicable E, hi. Dina, hi. Wendell, hello. Nicolette, hello. Lovely. Abby, hi. Emily, hi. Kara. Trixie, SG, Christina. Trixie from San Fran. Lovely Ghost. Star, hello. Wendell says, best way to start the week right here. Yes, Wendell, I have to agree. It's how I start my week every week. Janine. Bevula. Hi. Hope I said your name right. Pumpkin Spice, hello. Vanessa says, I don't usually come live, but you made it today. Hello. Bobby, Crystal, hello. Shyla, hi. How's everybody doing? Natalie, hello. How are you? How's everyone doing? Hopefully you can hear me. No one said they can't hear me yet, so I assume that means that you can. Hello, Lisa. Love my hair. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks for the compliment. What are we celebrating today? What do we successfully manifest? How are we doing? How are we feeling? Let's talk something good. What good news do we have? Bivula, I hope I said that right. Thank you for letting me know the sound is good. What are we celebrating? Let's start off with something positive. What have you manifested? What are we celebrating? What's going good? How are we? Hello, Kathy. Panda Bear says manifested a pink hydro flask. Cool. Pink, yes. Titi, hello. Simeon says I successfully manifested signing with a new talent manager and agent. Ooh, how exciting. Kitty, hello. Kitty says, okay, you said, man, I'm always 2 minutes late no matter what time I check in. I check for it. Well, don't say that because then you're going to be 2 minutes late for probably a lot of stuff. Sana, hello. Karina, thank you. This is a dress. You guys are very kind. Thank you. Brendan says just paid $4K for school and it literally felt like nothing. So easy. Yes, congratulations. I need to turn my phone on silent. Heloisa says new job plus raise. Yes, that's awesome. Excuse me, I'm turning my phone on silent so it doesn't bug me all the time. Rebecca, hello. Tommy, hi. Elizabeth K says, I manifested that I find doing eyelash extensions very easy and did my quickest set this afternoon. Oh, nice. TT manifested a job opportunity. Congratulations. Vanessa says, manifested my first affiliate partnership with a brand I love. Awesome. Everyone's doing so great. Nyana says, I manifested a good prom night with my friends. Everyone said I was the life of the party. Yes, how exciting. Raylight, hello. Tamara says, I manifested a nice weekend. Also, are you Tamara? Or Tamara? I want to make sure I say your name right. Says, I manifested a nice weekend with new people drinking and playing games till the sun came up. Oh, how fun. SG says, I needed alone time. Manifested my office mate having to go to a different location for the day. Oh, there you go. Cara says, I manifested a new apartment. Even after I was denied at first, I got a better one. Yes, exactly. That's what persistence is all about. Hello, Leanne. What's up? Amanda, hi. Blanca says, I manifested having an abundant financial Sunday. Nice, nice, nice. And thank you, Amanda. Yes, please manifest, or that too. Please thumbs up the video, and I'm going to manifest that you do thumbs it up. Got some free groceries. Nice, nice, Amanda. Karina, have your first job interview ever tomorrow? Yes. You're just going there to see if the job is a good fit for you. That's really all that you need to worry about. Don't worry about whether or not they, like, of course, they're going to love you. You're the person they're looking for. Is the job what you want? Does it tick all your boxes and then some? Consta, hello. Okay, so Danielle says, is it easier to manifest someone back into your life during the Mercury retrograde? I mean, if you think it is, I guess, then that's you deciding that. But I personally do not really subscribe to retrogrades, like, at all. I mean, like, there might be some truth to it, I guess, but, like, at the end of the day, it's like, if the retrograde affects me, then it does. If it doesn't, then it doesn't, like, it's what I say. Pumpkin spice manifested a free matcha tea latte with coconut milk. I'm surprised you didn't manifest a free pumpkin spice latte. Hello, Lindsay. And Keita, thank you very much. You're very kind. Leanne says, astrologers say that Mercury retrograde brings people from your past back into your life. So maybe. So, okay, that's interesting because yesterday Malachi called me and he was like, I want your professional opinion on, when people are coming back into your life, is it retrograde, yada, yada, yada. And so he told me this story about somebody that had offered him an opportunity back in the day, then denied it for a really fucked up bullshit reason. And then now is coming back around years later, wanting to work with him and needing his help, but went through, had someone else ask for his help because he specifically said, oh, that Malachi's not going to want to hear from me. Sorry, I'm telling people's business. Sorry, Malachi. Doesn't matter. I'm sure it's fine. Anyways, my point is that he asked me, is it retrograde, yada yada yada. And I said to him personally, I'm like, are you going through stuff? Because the first thing he said to me when we got on the phone was, I'm just working on being my most authentic self and really standing true in that and whatever. And I said, when we first got on, you said you're working on being your most authentic self. If you're leaning into being that true you right now, and that's what your focus is, then it makes sense that, the universe is going to present you with an opportunity to prove that you really are this new you or your true authentic self, and not give into the money or the opportunity and lower yourself. Cause that's what, he said he didn't want to do it. He was like, fuck you, dude. And hopefully that guy's not watching. And if he is, fuck you. Anyways, basically I was just like, the fact that you are working on being your most authentic self and just doing you for the sake of doing you and not looking for, any sort of outside validation. It sounds like the universe was presenting you an opportunity to stand in that, which you did. You passed the test or whatever. And, that's my opinion of what's happening. Maybe not necessarily that it's retrograde, but, if I whatever. So, it's just, it's just, I guess it is what you say it is, I guess is what I would say at the end of the day. Carla, what have I manifested recently? Okay, you know what I manifested yesterday, which may not seem like a lot, but it doesn't matter. It was definitely so obvious of a manifestation. So we've lived in our house for about a year and a half now. If you guys have been on my journey since the beginning, you literally saw me move from my old apartment where I used to do my old videos to my new place right now where I have, Roxy Talks has her own space. And we're living in this house. My favorite flower are irises. I like irises and birds of paradise, but irises are my real favorite. And in our old neighborhood, there were several iris bushes that I would walk by every single day and just get, I would talk to them and tell them how beautiful they were. And it would just get me in the vibes. So now, it's not the same neighborhood. We have a lot of stuff around here, but it's just whatever. It's not the same. I've been wanting irises of my own for 1.5 years ever since we moved here, or even longer, since we were in an apartment. But now that we've been in our house, I've been wanting them. So this is a manifestation like a while in the making. And yesterday, my husband and I, even though we should have been doing other stuff or had things that on our agenda that we wanted to do or that we should have done, we decided to just go for a walk instead, which is always a better idea. And it was interesting too, because I had a feeling that I was going to manifest something. Like I just had a little slight feeling like that there was something was going to happen. And we just like walked upon this house, and they had, oh, he's just walking by with the thing I'm talking about right now. They had all these like 5 different, like dug up from the ground bushels of plants. And then they had a palm tree in front of their yard, and it was like out on the grass in front of their yard, and like stapled to the palm tree or pinned to the palm tree or whatever. They had like descriptions of what the plants were. So it was like, this is a da-da-da-da, needs this kind of water. This thing lasts, throughout the year, blah, blah, blah. And it was like 2 different plants, 2 different pieces of paper, and like 5 different piles of like big, just plants with the whole root, everything, a full grown plant, and like a bush almost. And I was like, me and my husband are standing there like, are these for takes? Like, do we get to have these? And we're just sitting there looking at them. And I knew that it was, and I was trying to convince my husband, because obviously he was going to have to carry it home, because I wasn't going to carry it. But we were just standing there for a while, and I looked at the paper, and there was like a bee just sitting on the piece of paper with the picture. And even though I'm terrified of bees, I also have been like kind of switching up my branding, and I've been using like this little gold bee, and I've been like putting it in places just randomly in little places in my marketing and stuff. And so I knew instinctively that bee was for me. Like I could just see the way it was sitting on the paper. I was like, this is for me. I see the plant. It says it right there. There's an iris. There's a bunch of bushels. And my husband started to walk away, and I thought, if we're supposed to get it, I just want this person, maybe the person that lives here will just come and let us know that we can take one. And as soon as I had that thought, this lady comes yelling out the front door, please take these, please. Like, I'm trying to get rid of them. I want to pay it forward, whatever she said. And I was like, I knew that was a manifestation. So I don't know. What I gleaned from the whole situation was that I've been working really hard over the last few weeks to like stay in that, for lack of a better term, like vortex space, of just like being me and trying to remain pleased and fulfilled and content and satisfied and all those things. And when you create momentum in that direction, you like, it kind of starts to add up, and the things will come to you. So it's like something that I've been wanting for 1.5 years, which like we could just go to the store and buy a bush of irises, but we never did. And I always wanted it. And then it just was there. It was last night. And it was very obvious to me that it was a manifestation. It just felt very like, here's your fucking bush, bitch. Like, it was just very obvious. So, I don't know. There's that story. It's a long story short. No, excuse me. Short story long is what I meant to say. That's what that was. So, yeah. Do you have to, Christina says, do I have to let go of your desires to manifest them? Okay. I do have videos on letting go, and I actually did a recent workshop about letting go. If you want to check it out on my website, it's called the Heal and Transform Workshop Bundle. It's a bunch of them together. But what I will say is that, like, I feel like a lot of people misconstrue what letting go of the desire means. It doesn't mean that you stop wanting it. It means you stop acting like you don't have it, or acting like it's a problem that you don't have it. Like, that's what it really is understanding that, like, okay, like it's interesting. People treat their manifestations like life and death, like they're going to die without it. But it's like, are you dead right now without it? Do you not realize that you're living and manifesting, and you're still fine? And even though you don't have it, you haven't died yet, like, because of it. And like, you just chill the fuck out a little bit so that it can come to you. Like I just, as Mocha Double Latte is saying, her granddaughter is saying hi Avi, and I'm sorry for using language that maybe is a little sensitive for your ears, but Ava Rockwell says, are you dead without it? OMFG. Like, seriously, literally, like, I talk to a lot of people who act like manifesting their person is life and death, like they're gonna die without them. And I'm like, you don't have them now. You're alive. What are you fucking talking about? What do you mean? Okay, she's used to F-bombs. Okay, good. So she's gonna grow up and understand that it's totally fine to speak with freedom. You don't have to believe, Liv says, you don't have to believe your affirmations at first, do you? I would say, no. I think part of doing affirmations, like, obviously you can believe them right away, but if you don't, the repetition of it is like what makes you believe in it. And that's the same reason why you believe all the other bullshit lies that you listen to now. It's just that you've entertained the thought so long that you believe that it's your reality. But if you start only entertaining the thoughts of that you have everything, instead of counting every area where you're lacking in life and not shutting the fuck up about it and having to scream it from every fucking rooftop that you can get access to, which again, that's repetition. That's why you're so sold on your old stories, because you're doing it constantly with repetition. Do the opposite with the story you want, and eventually it takes over. Like, we are very much creatures of habit. We're susceptible to stuff. Like, we're easily influenced. Use it to your advantage instead of using it against you. Okay. Lady Luck, how do you raise your little ladybug spoke to me. How do you raise your energy levels when you're burned out but still have a lot to do? That's something that I'm working very good at every single day. My real true answer to that, what my real spirit, what really is really wanting to be said, is that if you make it so everything that you have to do during your day is shit that actually makes you feel good and actually fulfills you, you don't have to worry about this. There's no burnout when you're actually enjoying and fulfilled with what you do. And to me right now, I'm not getting a lower level answer than that. Like, not that I couldn't just root around and find one and answer your question. Man, I'm sorry, I'm having my own moment, because this is like hearkening back to, I don't know, I've never fucking said that before. This is hearkening back to my meditation from this morning, but it's about elevation and elevating yourself, and not just continuing on the path you're on because it's easy to stay there, and not even waiting till you get permission from yourself to elevate, but say, no, I want to be up there now. So I'm not getting a lower level answer than that. So I'm not even going to try to access it. How do you raise your energy levels when you're burnt out but still have a lot to do? Quit trying to raise your energy levels to sustain your burnout. Get rid of the shit that's burning you out so that you don't have to worry about that. You will be sustained energetically, emotionally, monetarily, physically, mentally, when you only do stuff that actually brings you joy and does not drain you. Ava says, is it Ava or Ava? Ava says, if you are doing what you love, there's no burnout, just extreme self-care. Ooh, I like it. I love it. Yes. Okay. Okay, Gemstone, I'm gonna get to you. Thank you so much for your super chat in just a second. I just want to give a little shout out to Fakiha. Okay. Stressing. So what I would say to you, listen, what I would say to you is this. Take the time that you're stressing out. Like, basically what you're probably doing is either stressing or studying right now, right? So what I would say is keep the amount of that you're studying, or studying is in this hand. Keep the amount that you're studying the same. Keep studying the same amount, but take all that time that you're stressing and use that and go for a walk, go hang out, do something fun, even though it may feel like counterproductive because you're not actually studying. I'm not saying stop being anxious and study. I'm saying stop, like, end the anxiety in your body by doing something that actually feels good for you, because like that time, if you're only going to study this much anyways, then just fucking study that much. Like, I'm whatever, like, if you say you're going to pass it, then put the energy towards passing it versus stressing out. Cause like putting yourself in the stressed out energy is not putting you on a path to pass it. And nor is it going to make you feel good. It's going to fuck you up. It's going to eat away at your body. Like, it's doing a lot of negative things. It's going to keep your thoughts in a fear, lack, worry mentality. So my advice to you is don't unless you feel compelled to. Don't increase the study amount just yet. Focus on decreasing the amount of anxiety by doing stuff that doesn't cause you anxiety and not feeling guilty about the fact that you're not studying, because if you weren't doing that fun thing, you wouldn't be studying either. You'd be swirling in anxiety, and that's way less productive than going out and like getting a coffee and like having a walk or something like that, right? So that's my advice to you, and we're here for you if you need anyone to talk to. Of course, you got tons of friends here that understand. Okay. Gemstone, thank you so much for the super chat. It says, Roxy, I took your advice last week, raised everything, let all my emotions out, and since then I've gotten the biggest movement in my manifestation. Yay! I love when people say, Roxy, I took your advice and it worked. Perfect. So, can you please elaborate so that I know that your friends here would love to hear more about exactly how you let your emotions out and revise. Wait, did I think I read this wrong. Roxy, I took your advice last week, revised everything. I don't know what word I thought I saw there. Took your advice last week, revised everything, let all my emotions out, and since then I've gotten the biggest movement in my Okay, perfect. That's amazing. Again, please share us what you're doing. Nick Gurr, yes, it is live. Gurr, baby. Very Gurr. Leah. Okay, this is a good question. Leah says, do you have any advice / guidance for praying in the present tense? I saw somewhere that asking God for things indicates lack, which I'm trying to avoid. Would I just say affirmations instead? Okay. So I mean, like, there's a few things that I want to say. First off is like when people say, I want that, my immediate response to them is, you have it. Like, say this instead. Like if you want to, if you're about to say, I want blank, switch it to I have blank energetically, even, or excuse me, energetically or mentally. If you can't say it out loud, if it's like you're having a conversation with somebody who doesn't understand, you're saying, I want, just kidding, I have in your mind, or saying in your mind, I have this thing. Switch it from I want to I have. Even if you do utter an I want, energetically switch it to an I have, because I mean, it's the fastest route to getting something you want is saying that you have it instead of talking incessantly about how you don't and how you want it. Because wanting something is great. Like the second that you realize, okay, here's the deal. This is the next thing I want to say. Wanting something is fine. That lets you know that you have room for expansion. That's an opportunity for you to expand when you want something. The issue is that most of us don't fucking expand in that moment. We actually contract because all of our old programming that tells us that we can't have it pops up in that moment. And you're going to get every reason as to why you can't have the thing that you just said you don't want, or the thing that you said that you want, all your worth, all your self-value, blah, 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 all that bullshit. So what you need to do is then be like, I can have it. I already have it. It's already mine. I'm deserving of it. It's on my way. Like you at least switching the energy towards not of a like, here's the reason why I can't, or what if I can't because of this, but it's just more reasons of why you can, or more stating of why you can. So let the asking ask once, okay? Let the asking or the wanting happen one time, because that's your indication that you're ready to expand in that moment. Ooh, I want that thing. Yes, I have it now. You want it once. You ask once. Okay. That's the problem, right? And here's with the letting go thing too. It's like you're asking 1,000 fucking times. Okay. Can you stop asking so I can give it to you? Because if you won't stop, I've talked about this in videos before, if your question channel is open, question, it's only flowing here. Out. I want. Can I have? Out. The in's not flowing. You got to close down the out to open up the in. And then, okay, actually, now that I've sent out that want, I want it. You only need to say it once. Can I have that thing? I'd like that thing. God, universe, whoever you're asking. That's this thing, please. You order it once, just like your food at the restaurant. You order it one fucking time so the kitchen's not back there making you 75 orders of your food, okay? One time, and backing the kitchen up hardcore. If you've ever worked in a restaurant, you know what that's like. So, or you've ever ordered your food behind a big party, you know what it's like. So anyways, you ask one time, and then you have it from that point forward. From the very first time you realize that you want it, great. Awesome. You want something new? That's fucking great. You can have it now. If you don't switch to that frequency, it's not coming through. It doesn't come through the want. The have does not come through the want channel. Okay? They're two different ones. If you want something, great. Turn that fucking channel off now. You want it one time. And then from there forward, your job is to have mentally and energetically in your language, I have it, I have it, I have it, even when it's not around. Because if you keep asking for it, it can't come through that channel. It's not going to swim upstream for you, but the universe will flow you to it downstream. So, oh, that made sense. That's something I've never really explained anything like that, like in that way. Obviously, I've talked about the question channel and the answer channel, but anyways, thanks for bringing that out. That was a new one. Okay. Newly worded, I should say. Bespoke Invites. Thank you so much for the super chat. Says, my SP wants friends with benefits, then goes hot and cold. He's scared to commit, goes because I'm younger, doesn't want more kids, doesn't think he's good at relationships. He's also my boss. So many excuses. How do I get him? These are your excuses? Like, how do you get him? You need to drop all these fucking excuses. I want him, but these are the X, Y, Z, Q, P, M, L, M, N, O, G reasons why I can't have him. How can I have him? Well, you could stop saying all those things. Yeah, but A, B, C, D, E, F, G, I can't. Okay, but every time you say that, you can't have him. I understand that, but the problem is that E, F, G, blah, 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 and these are the problems. And it's like, okay, fine, keep arguing with yourself. Like, not that you're arguing with me, but like you have so many reasons as to why he can't. Why do you think he can't? How could he possibly, with all these reasons that you're believing and living your life through? Like, oh man. Sorry, sometimes it's just the perspective I get from these questions. It just really makes a lot of sense to me. I'm seeing something like I'm seeing you, what you think you've run your SP through this filter of all this bullshit. But what I'm really seeing is you running yourself through this filter. You are now not good enough because you're young, which means I'm not old enough. I don't have enough years. I don't have enough to offer. Even my child, my seed isn't good enough for this man to commit to. I'm not good enough for him to be good at relationships. I'm not good enough for him to put his bullshit aside. I'm not good enough for him to take a chance. I'm not good enough for him to last even longer than a week. It's fucked up, man. How can I get him? You're going about it ass backwards. You're trying to get to the stomach of a cow through its fucking asshole. That's not the most pleasant trip. So I recently heard a quote from somebody in the community who should really know better. And no offense said with love, I've spoken with kindness, but I saw somebody say, I recently started doing self-love things. I never did them before because I thought it was stupid and it would just annoy me. But now that I'm doing them, I'm seeing the value in it. And I'm like, do you not understand that it's the self that's manifesting? Why would you think that working on you is the wrong answer? It's the only answer that makes sense. It makes absolutely no sense to have an engine problem and then to go look over there at someone else's car and fuck with their engine. How does that fix yours? How does that help you go? You're spending all of your time all day tinkering. Excuse me. Whoa. My throat chakra is. Woo. Okay. How does it help? How do you fix your engine by tinkering around in someone else's all fucking day long? Whose spirit guides are here? Everybody's spirit guides are like, they want you to get it so bad. They want you to wake up so bad. And not just wake up, but like wake up to your own shit. Awareness and discipline. I say it every week. And yet every question that comes through is either an awareness problem, a discipline problem, or both. So the way to get what you want is to stop limiting yourself and stop acting like you don't have it. Stop counting the reasons why you can't and why you don't. Stop talking about how hard it is, how much you wish you blah, 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 blah. And just do and be what you say you want. Excuse me. Okay, so what do we got next? We have another super chat. And this is all spoken with kindness, of course. I love you guys so much, and that's why I get I'll get so much energy coursing through my body. Emma, thank you so much for the super chat. Says, Roxy, big fan and longtime supporter. So grateful for you. I've hit a wall after getting COVID. I spiraled in isolation, created a storm with SP, and now he's processing things. I created it. Send help. Okay, so you use a laugh cry emoji. So at least you don't sound like you're in desperation, which is great, because desperation is like, it's just an extra stone in your pocket when you're trying to become weightless. So, what you went through physically in your body gave you a chance for a reset, and that's great. Whatever was happening with your relationship was already happening, and you going into isolation or being sick or doing whatever you did, it only amplified it or brought it out, right? It's not like it wasn't there to begin with. So it's a good thing that this happened, because it didn't drag it out for years or months or however long. It brought it to a head now, which is great, because now we can deal with it and move forward. Okay. So I want you to just, at this moment, I've said the things I just said so that you can cut off any sort of like guilt or remorse or, feeling bad about what you did, because you did exactly what you had to do. You were fucking potentially dying. Like, you're fine. You're fucking fine, right? Like, it's okay. So give yourself some slack, or cut yourself some slack, give yourself some grace, and cut the past just cut it off, because the past is an illusion anyways. Don't carry it with you. It doesn't help you. It doesn't serve you in the next moment. Okay. So cut out the old story, realize it's completely irrelevant to what's going on now. And all you're going to do going forward is just like see the blessings in what happened and be thankful for it, so that you can use it for, like, it happened for a reason, so that you could use it. I had my face fall apart earlier this year. I couldn't see, couldn't move, couldn't talk, could barely eat. And I had a lot of time with my thoughts. I couldn't watch TV. I couldn't read. I couldn't do anything because I could barely see. So, and obviously couldn't work. That brush with losing literally everything obviously made me more appreciative. It sent me on a new trajectory. It gave me a new lease on life, and it offered me a lot of clarity and space to re-solidify myself into who I want to be as a person and how I want to take care of myself physically, mentally, and emotionally. It was a good thing that happened to me. So for you, I'm just saying, like, you're in a great space. You're healing, you're moving forward. You understand where you have, like, whatever was triggered within you to cause this flare up with your person was already there. So now you have awareness so that you can use your discipline to deal with it and not make it a thing anymore, so that it doesn't keep causing problems in your life. So what you need to do, sorry, I'm trying to avoid getting cat hair on my face. What you need to do is rewrite the story, revise everything. What do you want it to be now? And understand that your person's processing things right now because you're processing things. So great. And you're processing them in a way that's going to work out for you. And so are they. Great. That's all the work you need to do on them. What you need to do is work on you, and you need to do your own processing. Who do you want to be now? What life do you want to live? What truths do you want to believe now? What definitions of self do you want to operate within? Like, you can rewrite every rule and paradigm and definition of yourself that you've ever subscribed to. Like, every single thing that you think about yourself in reality is just what you think, and is only true for you in your world, and is only true there, and is only true as long as you think it's true. And as soon as you start telling yourself that something else is true, it becomes true. So figure out what it is that you want. Figure out what it is, who you want to be now that you have this great gift of clarity and awareness. And then use 360 method. Of course, that's my personal method and approach of applying your new story and becoming it. Check out my 30 days of alignment if you want to, like, that's a month-long process of installing a new you, essentially. Or I've got one-on-one coaching if you want me to help you specifically. And then I also have my 360 method official program coming early next year. So I just thought I'd throw that out there. And there's a bunch of free content here on YouTube as well. Gemstone, thank you so much for the super chat. Says, with releasing emotions, I just let myself cry, be sad, or however I was feeling without letting my thoughts spiral, which is the key. Exactly. Yep. So we've talked about it before. People have said affirm through the tears. I say self-soothe, keep your thoughts on track while your emotions are being processed. Like your emotions are valid and they've been building up in your life, your entire, or within your body for your entire life. So they need to be excuse me, they need to be what's with my throat chakra today, they need to be witnessed, they need to be cared and witnessed with love and allowed, not trying to change them, not running from them, not saying that there's something else or making them into anything that anything else. They just need to be witnessed for what they are and loved for what they are, and then they go away. Abby says, I need attention. I'm feeling like a baby. So you have it. Sanam says, haven't made it in a while, so I'm glad I'm here. I need to be yelled at today. I got you, boo. Panda Bear, thank you so much for the super chat. Says, waited for 6 months submarine deployment to finish. He called, he's back and wants to call quits on engagement. Us, shocked and sad. Do I return the ring? Why are you asking me? Like, I'm sorry, I'm like, what is going on in my throat today? Sorry, it's like, you know when you have a tickle and like you can't, like makes your eyes water. If there are people trying to speak through my throat chakra, quit fucking making it tickle so much so I can actually speak. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry, guys. Ooh. Why is my throat? What is going on today? Holy cows. I knew I was going to need an extra coffee today. Okay. Good Lord. All right. Panda. While my heart does go out to you, again, there's nothing to be gained from me giving you lower level advice that's not going to ultimately elevate you, because you can look on YouTube extensively and spend hours of your day manifesting an engagement or whatever. At the end of the day, you have an opportunity right now to either give into your 3D reality and probably your old patterns, clearly a trigger, clearly any sort of worth, fear, doubt, insecurity, bullshit going on within you. You have the opportunity right now to give into it and create a new pattern in your life again of being hurt this way and reacting and creating more and fearing and worrying and doubting and being a victim and not calling you anything. But I'm just saying this is a pattern you can take, or you can look at it and say, interesting. I don't fucking think so. And go back into it. Get on board with your new story. Do you return the ring in the physical? I don't know that. I can't answer that question for you. I don't know where the path of getting onto your story of being good enough and being chosen and being the right one and being the only one and being the number one and being the priority and being cared for and being loved and being accepted. That's where your thoughts need to be at right now. Like, do you return the ring? I don't know. I can't answer that for you because I don't know the situation. I don't know if it's something where it's like you need to stand up for yourself or you need to, lay down this time. I don't know your patterns, but I can just tell you that no matter what, your worth, value, belief in yourself, all that stuff is being called to, or how do I say this? You are being called to reinstate your worth, value, all that stuff to yourself. And that is what is important right now. The rest of it is irrelevant. And the rest of it is just going to fall into place based on how you respond to this call for you to reinstate your worth, value, good enoughness, and etc. Okay. Christina, thanks. Christina's like, you're on fire today. It's whoever's coming through. I'm being like more and more open to like knowing that that I'm like channeling and kind of like passing information through. Yada yada. Amanda says, "Hubby, please provide extra coffee for Roxy." You guys are so funny. Okay, so I see. Oh, Sanam says, "I'm also sick with a throat infection today, LMAO, and I'm on antibiotics. A friend of mine also said it was a throat chakra thing. Interesting sync. Maybe, maybe something's going on with the throat." Victoria, okay, I see 2 super chats. I'll get to those in just a second. Victoria says, "Can you expand on what you were speaking about last week with regard to being addicted to the old story, even though we are trying to let it go? Also, why do we hate the SP if we know everyone is you pushed out?" Okay, to the first question, I don't remember what I was talking about last week. A lot of the stuff, again, comes through me, so I don't remember. So refresh my memory on that. The answer to why do you hate the SP if you know that everyone is you pushed out is because they are representing the stuff in you that you hate of yourself, or that you don't like, or that you're fearful of, or that you're worried about, that you're insecure about. So when they display it, it makes you really fucking mad because you don't like it. It's within you. It's already something that you've decided they're not supposed to be doing. You're not supposed to be doing, or you don't like it. That's my personal opinion. It's holding up too much of a mirror. Or confronting you with the underlying truth that you created the situation anyways. So it's all you anyways. Okay, that's my personal opinion. Maybe I'm wrong. Tiffany, thank you so much for the super chat. Says, "For 2 weeks, told the universe I have $10,888. 4 days later, my friend got a check for $10. Oh no, excuse me, 10,831. Then I watched a video that had 10,880. 10,889 views. My 10 grand is coming. Yes, ma'am. Yes, it is. It's already yours. It's not even coming. It's already yours. Tiffany, if you haven't read Rich as Fuck by Amanda Francis, I would suggest getting that book because it really, really helps you expand and solidify and understand, what you do with your story about money is, and like why you have what you have, and then how to like recreate it, and like really how to recreate it, and how to do it every single day, and how to expect more and expand for more, and like how to change the definitions of how money comes to you, and like in what ways you get it, and things like that. So I would definitely suggest you are definitely ready. Not that anyone's not ready, but I would say that book would be great for you right now. Oh, Victoria, that's so funny. You sent a super chat about the question I just felt compelled to answer anyways. So what do you know? So tell me about, I asked you to expand. I'm guessing you probably did, and I'll get to it here in a second. Fig Nation, thank you for the super chat. Says, "I totally support what you broadcast. Very interesting." Thank you. That's very kind and generous of you. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thanks for being here. So if they're a dick, it means I'm an asshole too? No, it means that you expect them to be a dick and you define people as dicks. So therefore people have to be dicks to you. If there are dicks in the world, then they're going to show up in your world, period. Are there dicks in the world? Yes. Then guess what? You're going to come in contact with some of them. And the more you describe the people that you're around as dicks, the more dicky they're going to have to be because you are setting that definition for them. Okay, you basically said that you see that via the comments, people are addicted to the old story or venting about it. Okay, I mean, yeah. I'll just go off of that. I don't remember what I said last week, so like I don't know. I can't expand upon that. But Venting about your story 100% is why you don't have your manifestation. And it's not just that you're venting about it. It's because you're completely fucking sold on the fact that that's your reality. It's like, okay, this is a question I hear a lot of people ask. They say, I'm afraid to go to therapy because when I go to therapy, they're going to make me affirm blah, blah, blah. And even I've actually spoke about, being careful about what you affirm when you're in therapy, or like, going down the road too much. The thing about it is that, why I said that in the past is to make sure that you're not continuing to just affirm, and just like keep it going. But really what the deal with it is that this is your actual truth. You're venting about it because you're actually letting out the real truth. And that's what's really manifesting. So if you're afraid to go to therapy and tell a therapist what your really truth is, that's just a cop out for you to not go to therapy or whatever, because you're already manifesting it, obviously, or you wouldn't be wondering how to not manifest it. Like being afraid to, like, people are like, oh, I don't want to affirm it. I'm like, listen, if you already are, it's already your reality, or we wouldn't even be worried about affirming. You wouldn't even be affirming it. You wouldn't have to say, oh, I don't want to affirm this thing because I don't want to manifest it more. Well, isn't it already in your reality? What is saying it one more time out loud going to do? So where were we? Yeah. So when being addicted to your old story, I think it's like on some level, you get some sort of benefit from your old story, whether it's pity, whether it's comfort from not changing, whether, you are manifesting something in it. Like, I don't know what, everyone gets different shit out of what they do, but like whatever you're getting out of it, you're afraid of leaving that behind because this is from Kyle Cease. You don't know what's on the other side of leaving it. You're so afraid of losing what you have that you're not willing to see what you might gain. You don't know what you might gain by letting go of that thing or by moving on from it. So, I hope that answers. I don't know. I hope that answers your question. Leah says, do you think there's a way to manifest the pandemic away? It's been the biggest block in my life and has led to my biggest limiting beliefs. Did I somehow create it into my world? Okay. First off, allowing it to have so much power over you is not how you manifest it away. That's one. For two, saying it's been the biggest block in your life and led you to your biggest limiting beliefs, I don't believe. I mean, maybe giving you a reason to really double down on them and root yourself in them, but it's not like it's creating them. And you calling it the biggest block and saying it's leading you to your biggest limiting beliefs is making it bigger. Like, you're literally making it a problem in your world. So, and I'm not saying that your 3D reality is not showing that to you. I'm saying if you want to change it, you need to stop saying these things, even if your 3D reality says something different. And, if you want to manifest something away, the fastest way through that is to get into the mental and energetic space of it not being there at all. Not focusing on trying to make it leave. It doesn't exist. So that's how you manifested a pandemic away, is by deciding it doesn't exist and not allowing it to hold space as the biggest block in your life. It is not the biggest block in your life. In fact, it's not even a thing. Pick it up and show it to me with your hand. I'm not saying that what's going on in the 3D, I'm not trying to deny that. What I'm saying to you is, as a manifester and a conscious observer of your reality, you calling it this big ass fucking thing that's making everything in your life go wrong is why everything in your life is wrong. I mean, it was already going that way, right? Like it was you this stuff was already within you. Now you're giving it the name of the pandemic. Now it's the pandemic's fault, but this stuff was already here, is all I'm trying to say. So, you can be secure now. You can feel safe now. You can feel happy now. You can tell yourself you're healthy now without actually seeing it in your 3D reality. But if you can't move past what the 3D reality shows you and control this, then you're just going to keep being in a cycle of it. You don't know how to pretend he's not a dick. Stop calling him a dick. You are calling him a dick. That's why he is one. You don't know how to pretend he's not a dick. Stop fucking calling him one. Quit putting all your energy on someone else. Put it on you. Why are you spending so much of your time looking at other people's behavior and taking it on internally? And I mean this with love. Like, how do you stop calling someone a dick? Get it. Focus on yourself. The fuck? I mean, like, honestly, really. Why are they taking so much of your attention? Why are they so important in your reality that you have to worry about their behavior and how it affects you instead of realizing that you are affecting you? You are doing that to yourself. You're calling him a dick. You're being a dick to you. Quit giving him the label. Don't give anybody the label. Erase it. Okay. You're also saying, do you think there's any validity to the idea that we will always be creating BS with any SP, even a new one? Or do you think that we're just blocked now with SP? You and everybody here will okay, because you're married to him, will live with him. Listen, girl, if you're going to give me every reason in the book why you can't do this, then that's why you can't, because you can't. You're literally, I'm telling you, and you're arguing back. And I know that we're like getting to the bottom of it, but I'm just pointing this out to you. I'm trying to give you answers and you're telling me why it's not working. That's why it doesn't work, because you will not let the solution through. You have every reason in the book to say, he's a dick, he's this, I live with him, I can't, I'm blah, 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 blah. That's why, because all that stuff that you keep, that's your story. But it's this, but they're a dick, but I live with him, but I can't, but blah, blah, blah. That's why. Literally stop saying that stuff. I know, girl, I know. But here's the deal. Like, listen, I'm going to be real as fuck with you. I'm not going to sugarcoat. I don't have time to sugarcoat this shit because I have hundreds of comments coming through. So, and this is with love. And I'm not saying this to be mean. I know my tone comes off across mean. This is meant like to literally help you, but I got to be 100% real with you. You're asking me and I'm telling you what I'm seeing based on what you're coming at me with. Okay. And so if I was the universe, which I am kind of, because I'm a fucking blank slate. I don't know anything about your story. I mean, I have my own issues going on within me eternally. But my job here is to look at what you're saying, black and white, plain as day, and say, here's what you're saying and why you're manifesting exactly what you're fucking getting. So again, I don't have time to sugarcoat it. I don't have time to like tell you to fucking live, laugh, love. Like, this is the deal. You keep calling him a dick, he's going to stay one. Quit calling him that. If he acts like a dick, I love my life. What a kind person. Inside, in your mind, you are reacting to him and creating more dickery every time you think he's being a dick. If he does dickish behavior, that has nothing to do with what you do next. And that's the point I'm trying to make. So when he does something dicky, you do not process that it's dicky. You process it as, honestly, I don't care what you process it as. This is your life. You can process it as love. You can process it as air. I didn't hear anything. You can process it as neutrality. He asked me where the ketchup was. You can process it as he's working on himself, and it doesn't matter. You could ignore it. You can act like you heard him say he's going to give you $1 million. It doesn't really matter. The point is that every time, I'm telling you any tips for ignoring the 3D. I'm literally saying these right now. Anytime he does something dickish, you have to make the decision to stop reacting the same way. Stop giving him your power. Stop acting like he's the reason you have these issues within you. He's not. They were already there. He's just bringing them out in you because you manifested somebody that would trigger you in the ways to bring up all your old shit over and over again so that you could keep falling into the trap of your old patterns over and over again. Okay? So stop falling into the trap. If he acts like a dick, so what? That has nothing to do with what you do next. You woo-saw, you go take a walk. Okay, this is another thing. If you have a dynamic in your relationship where you never stand up to that person, then maybe you need to stand up to them. If you have a dynamic in your relationship where he's a dick and you always react and blow up, then don't react next time and don't blow up. Do the opposite of what you normally do. That's how, when the 3D triggers you, turn the other way. You can. I know you can do it, okay? Because you're an adult. So, and to go back to your question you just asked about, are you creating BS with any new SP, even a new one? Yes, ma'am. 100% yes, ma'am. This shit will come back to you. It is not just this SP. They are displaying pieces of your story to you, and so is everybody else on the planet, until you change the way that you react to your story and how you behave and how you feel about what you see in your 3D reality. Nothing else is going to change. It might for a little while, but it's always going to come back around to the same old way that you think and respond. So if you can change the way that you think and respond every single time, then you change the 3D reality. And not that, okay, let me also say, it's not that being perfect is the answer. It means that you're just opening up to new energy, a new reality. Because if it goes like this, he's a dick, I react this way, and then this happens. As soon as it goes, he's a dick, you react this way, then this thing over here is going to happen. It's going to be something different because something new energy has been entered into the equation. So all you have to do is like stop doing the same shit. Do something else that's more productive, and it will take you to another place. Like, just like if you were going to take a left instead of a right, you'll end up in a different fucking place. Right? So yeah. So it's all said with love, spoken with kindness. You said you don't want to care anymore. It's like, okay, if you have apathy, that's on you. If you don't want to be in this relationship with this person anymore, then focus on feeling fulfilled and free and happy and glad that you're making choices to eliminate the things that drag you down in life. If you would like to repair the relationship to a place that you actually enjoy being with this person, then you need to be focusing on how much you enjoy your life, satisfaction. I have everything I need. I'm great. The universe continues to bless me. Like that kind of attitude. Both similar and both going to bring you the stuff that you actually want to experience. But if you're constantly reacting to somebody, you got to work on your reactions, because if you can't figure out how to lessen your triggers, if you're unable to not physically be around something that triggers you, then you have to work really hard on how you behave when you're triggered. Okay. Oh, Lord. Cutie, help people on TikTok say that manifesting SP is bad and gives you karma. Like, why are you listening to a 16-year-old give you life advice? Like, come on. I know. I agree. Oh, Crammy. Brandon, my husband, right before we got on, he said that the cat was sitting there. He's like, are you going to say hi to Brandon today? She did. I know. I know, Cram. Okay, I don't think, do we have any other super chat? I think I went through all the super chats that we have right now. Okay. I know. Thank you, Leah. Spiritual Empath says she wants to be petted. She wants to get in the closet, but she's not going to go in there. No, you don't have the strength to open those doors with those little puffy arms. No. Ooh, Sanam, I love this. This is so amazing. I think a lot of people actually, I'm highlighting it on the chat because Everybody in here, whether you're chatting with somebody or not, whether you're responding to somebody, if you're distracted, can you just pay attention for a moment? I just want to read this out real fast. Sanam says, I've been developing the belief that I can express anything I want to my partner without holding back my truth, and it's really been helping. So everything that you think about how you're going to be received or what you can say or how they're going to act, like if you can text somebody, if you can text them, if they're going to respond, what all that stuff, it's all your energetic story, and it's just doing what you say. It's going to respond in the way that is most likely, most plausible to you. It's you know, it's within the realm of possibility for you. So continuously telling yourself over and over and over and over that you can express anything, that I don't have to hold back, and the people that I love are even more, you know, not only am I expressing myself, but I'm also not holding back, which makes the connection even more powerful and true and deep and magical, or whatever. Like saying that you can, and then it's good that you can, and in fact it makes everything better, is literally the exact same thing as saying that you can't, and you can't text them and they won't write back and they never do, and I'm afraid to do this because of blah blah blah. It's all the same shit. It just keeps manifesting because you believe it and because you keep saying it. So if you keep saying over and over and over and over and over, I can't express myself, anything I want to my partner, they're happy that I'm expressed. They're not only do they want to hear it, they're like asking for more. They want me to share this with them. And it always makes our relationship better. That will become like, that's going to be your truth. And eventually you're not going to see any evidence of the opposite, because that's the truth. And then if somebody does come at you and not appreciate your honest communication, you're going to recognize that that's a them problem and not necessarily a you problem, and that you don't have to take it on internally and make it mean something. It just means that maybe that connection with this person, or with fears and idea or worries that are still lingering around. Like there's a few things it could be. There's multiple things it could be. There's old patterns. It could be just expectation. It could just be, the opportunity to solidify yourself in a reality where everything is good for you to communicate with. It could just be the fact that humans exist, and we also think that humans can be assholes sometimes. Like it could be all of the above, but the point of it is that none of those things are worth you changing your value about yourself and your belief that you can continue to express yourself openly and will be received well. Bit Boop says, I know my values, so anyone who wouldn't be able to live, honor, cherish, and respect me does not have access to me. I only accept those who accept me. Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. I live my life like that as well too. Like I don't really let people be in my life that mistreat me. Like if you like fuck me over once, like that's the last time I'm gonna let you do that. So I'm kind of like that too. Like I just don't have drama. I don't have disrespectful people. I don't have issues like that in my life because I'm just not going to have it. Like I don't expect it. And if it comes my way, I'm not fucking engaging. I'm turning away as quick enough, as much as possible. And like, okay, you can go be that over there. No judgies, no hard feelings, but no thankies. Sana says, I was nodding up to sleep and heard you say bip boop, and now I'm laughing. So, this week's podcast episode is an interview with Alea Lovely from the Spiritual Shit podcast. So if you listen to the Spiritual Shit podcast, definitely check out this week's episode because we're talking about spiritual shit. And she's really fun. We actually had like a Zoom date last week after we had our interview, and then we had the Zoom date the next week because we have so much in common, and we got to like have a little like intuitive moment because she's like, she kind of can speak to she's like kind of got some medium qualities. Like she can kind of speak to something else out there, and I of course like hear hear information and I get like flashes of images. And we were just like communicating back and forth and like kept saying all these like things to each other. And it was just like funny to like have a conversation with somebody that's also like kind of like on that level intuitively, and you can like feed back and forth. And like she was talking about like, I think she was talking about writing a book, and I was like, I don't remember what it was exactly, but I was like, you need to dust that off the shelf. Like I heard in my head, dust it off the shelf. And she's like, girl, I was just telling myself I need to dust this thing off the shelf. And it was like, we kept having those moments. And so anyways, please, Dabaz, you listen to Spiritual Shit podcast. Yay. Okay, good. So she's going to be on our podcast Wednesday. This week's podcast airs Wednesday, 9 a.m. Pacific. So yeah, please. And I asked her your questions about spirituality. I asked you guys what kind of spiritual questions you'd like me to ask her, since she is more like spiritually, she's more of she focuses on spiritual stuff. I focus more on mental stuff. Not that she doesn't, or vice versa, but like that's her thing and I'm more of a mental person. So to talk to somebody that, I was like, what's your take on this in the spirit? Like I asked her, what's your take? What do you do with triggers from a spiritual standpoint? So that's the kind of stuff that we talked about, how we can apply what we do here, manifesting with more of the spiritual side. SG says, damn, Roxy, I'm crying. You cracked the code for me. What code? I'm here for you. Hope it's a good cry, but of course it is. Of course it's a good cry. Okay, Kitty, I see a super chat from you. Thank you so much. Do you have any advice on how to cultivate that sense of worth? Because that's what I'm working on right now, my own worth. Okay. All right. What if I told you, because the problem is in the word cultivate. What if I told you that your sense of worth was already at 100%, but every single time you think a negative thought, insecure, worry, fear, doubt, all that stuff, you like you ding something off the total. I'm reminded of this old Third Rock from the Sun episode. I never really watched that show, but when it was on TV, like in the 90s, I remember this one episode where they went to a restaurant and like John Lithgow, the main alien guy, had like a stack of dollar bills, and he told the waitress, he's like, this is your tip. He's like, and every time you mess up, I'm gonna take one off. And so like literally everything that she said, like if he asked for something and they were out of it, he was like taking $1 away from her tip. And that's like what I just saw in my mind is like, so like Morpheus is saying, what if I told you you already have self-worth? What if I told you your self-worth was already 100% intact within you right now, completely 100% cultivated, but it was the thoughts of insecurity, fear, worry, doubt that siphon off of it every day? If that were the case, which it is, then you wouldn't have to worry about cultivating self-worth. You would need to be more focused on not allowing yourself to siphon from your self-worth. You no longer siphon energy or value or whatever from your self-worth. You cultivate that within the self-worth, right? Does that make sense? So like I would say, instead of focusing so much on how to make myself feel like believe I'm something, start by stop telling yourself that you're not every single time you do. Does that make sense? I'm not putting you in timeout, okay? I have moderators, like my hands are back here. I'm not putting you in timeout. Someone's like, here I was manifesting, then you put me in timeout. What the fuck? And I said you was fine. I have moderators that put people in timeout that are disrespectful in the chat. If they deemed you as disrespectful or spamming the chat, I don't know. I didn't do it. I'm over here answering questions. So, and if that's the case, if you're getting timed out, instead of like being mad at people who are timing you out, maybe ask yourself, why am I getting timed out? Why have I done something that would warrant other people to not want to see my incessant messaging over and over? Like, no shade. I'm just saying, like, don't blame me. I'm just fucking sitting here answering your guys' questions, man. So, Dina said, I am timing you out, sir. Dina doesn't play. We love our community here, and we try to keep it as healthy as possible for everybody. So if you're spamming the chat or saying stuff that's not driving with people, they're gonna time you out because they don't want to fucking look at it, honestly. Like I kind of just look at super chats, and then like when I don't have super chats, I kind of go through and see what's in the middle. But other than that, man. Okay, so anyway. Oh, Pumpkin Spice, you said you love Third Rock. Do you remember that episode when they went to when he was doing that with the waitress? Christina says, in your SP workshop, do we work on healing emotional wounds regarding a partner? Yeah, definitely. But I would say more so it's like my focus in making it was healing the emotional wounds within you, period. Not necessarily like just with your partner, because obviously you want to deal with the relationship at hand, but there's all kinds of underlying stuff that manifested the issues in the relationship that you have now. And if you don't deal with those, then you're just going to have more issues later down the road. So my philosophy is deal with the emotional stuff going on within you already, learn how to deal with your issues. And then as you work through your stuff with your partner, your specific problems with your specific partner right now, you already know how to deal with any problem or situation because that's what the workshop teaches. Then you can apply it to your specific situation. But the homework is designed for you to get a custom, what's the word I'm looking for? Like a custom roadmap to your ideal reality. So like the information I present is like overall general how it works for people. And then with the homework that is part of it, you get to the bottom of your own specific issues. And then I show you how to make them not an issue anymore. Is it Ian or Lane? I can't tell if that's a lowercase L or a capital I. Lane? I think it's Lane. No? Ian. Ian? Says, imagine never doubting anything. So, imagine never doubting anything. Can we take this and expand upon it instead of turning it into imagine never doubting anything? Psh, that would be nice. How about imagine never doubting anything? That sounds really fucking nice. I'm open to that. And then from there, when you feel or hear or experience a doubt pass through your mind space, you can just say, I don't need to listen to that thing. It's not really, I don't believe you. No, that's okay. I don't believe that. No, I'm not going to subscribe to that, or whatever it is that you do to dismiss it. But that's what you do is dismiss them, because listening to them is exactly why you have them. It's because you listen to them. Or, excuse me, listening to them is exactly why you keep experiencing them and keep experiencing things that reignite the doubt within you, is because you listen to it. And then that manifests more things to doubt. Erica says, you have taught me to be nice to myself. I rewatch your vids and you've become a big sister to me. Thank you, Erica. I'm so glad that you are learning and gaining value here. And yes, the most important thing is to be nice to yourself. And now you can't stop listening. Good. Ian says, my point is, isn't doubt a good thing? Doubt could be a good thing if you do it one time and let it, I had a doubt there. That means I need to double down on my confidence and I believe in myself now. And now I'm not going to listen to the doubts and say I can't do it. If you use it that way, then yeah. But if you're sitting there like, oh, but I can't, then no. What the fuck? How is that empowering you? In my personal opinion, I don't think that it does not behoove me to sit around and listen to my doubts all day. I know that for sure. So I don't. You doubt what a lot of politicians say. Well, why are you okay, I'm talking about self-doubt here. I'm not talking about looking at people who are clearly, their job is to lie to you and they're lying. Well, of course they fucking are. They're politicians. It's part of their goddamn job. Like, what? Don't focus on them. Focus on what you can do in the world and the good that you can bring. You focusing on what they're saying does nothing for you in the world. Okay. Can you talk about manifesting an SP? Is it possible there? Okay, I don't feel like talking about manifesting an SP anymore. I've done it so much, but I will answer your next question is it possible they're not showing up because you need to work on your self-concept? Yeah, 100%. That's why they're not showing up, is because you think they're not there and you think that there's a problem within you, that there is a problem within you somewhere that you believe is the source and reason why you don't have what you want, essentially. Like at the base level of it, somewhere you truly believe you don't have and that you can't have, or it's hard, or whatever the deal is with you, and that's why you don't have it. So again, people ask this question, do you need to work on self-concept to manifest your SP? Yes, because your self-concept manifested the fucking bullshit you're dealing with right now. Doesn't that make sense? Your self-concept got you where you are right now. Is it a problem? Then you probably need to work on it. If you don't like where it's at right now, then do something different. It only makes sense to me. I just like, sometimes I just don't understand. It's so obvious sometimes. I'm like, come on, y'all. With the biggest kindness and open heart I have, I'm like, it's so obvious and so literal. It's so literal. Myself is manifesting them. Do I have to worry about what myself manifests? Yeah. Are you kidding me? Like, if you wanted to walk up a mountain, do you need to make sure that your fucking legs are going to carry you there, or that you have the right apparatus to do it, that your lungs work, and that you have the right tools and the shoes or the whatever that you're using and the food to sustain you? Or do you just expect the mountain to fucking provide you with all of it just because you showed up to it? The guides are tired of being ignored. See, but how do you believe something you don't believe? Through repetition. Choosing to believe it because it's a higher quality belief and you know that it'll ultimately bring you higher value in your life than the belief that you're believing now, and then turning that one off or turning the volume down anytime it shows up in your mind and replacing it with the new belief that you've chosen and already decided that you would rather have in your mind, and deploying and employing that one every single time you try to do the other one. Ava says the gods are displeased. They're not displeased. They love you so much. They just wish that you would stop looking everywhere else for solutions when all of it exists within here. When every single problem you're experiencing could be solved by you making yourself happy and making that your number one goal. Christina, how can you hear your guides more? I would say my suggestion, start with meditation. And then what meditation does is, for me, it taught me how to hear the difference between like a self-generated kind of idea and something that maybe came from outside of my awareness. I can tell the difference now. And the more that I listen to this and register that it's not coming from within me, it's coming from somewhere else, I strengthen it every single time I listen to it and believe it and trust it. So Erica, when am I releasing music? Okay. The full album is going to be released in probably September of next year. I know that seems like a lot, especially since I've been working on it for like 2 years, but we're just, going to fine tune it, make sure that's absolutely perfect, make sure that everything works out smoothly and seamlessly. So the full album will be out about a year from now, but the first single will be out in June of next year. And that's off my forthcoming album. But I will have more like little bits and bobs of like meditations and affirmations and things like that coming to you throughout the time. In the meantime. Vanessa, enjoy your day. Ooh, Powers of Tarot says, I love the money hour, 1 hour money track that was released last week. Thanks, Powers of Tarot. Yes, I'm glad you like that. We love doing those. We love making music. Me and Malachi love it so much. Like that is our truest passion. And so we just, we talked yesterday for a couple hours, and it's like part of, it's like, it's, I'm hearing the word marvelous in my head, but honestly, like we're marveling at making music that like helps people and affects them in a positive way and changes their life and like inspires them and stuff. And, as a musician, trying to like make it in the mainstream world for like so many years of what we were doing, like when we were in our 20s, just like grinding away and stuff, like making like mainstream type music. Like it's not necessarily energetically something that adds to the collectiveness, always like a lot of music that's popular is has to do with pain or hurt or even like bragging and like talking about shit that you act like you have that you maybe don't have. I don't know, it's just it like the energy isn't of adding, it almost feels like it's of taking. And not judging anybody, but just like where I was in the mental, like where I was when I used to make music in my 20s was like, I want to be famous. It's gonna make me famous. Like everything was like for the the shock value and like how sexy can we be and things like that. And it's just like it's really cool for both of us, to be. He's 35, I'm 37, to like be in this space in our life where like we're fulfilled from making music, and then not only are people enjoying it, but it's like helping them change their lives and like like bringing them money and abundance and love and creativity and self-worth and all that shit. So it's been quite fulfilling, I would say, to release music in this way. And obviously that was the whole point of my path and journey, was to come down this road. So Varela asked, what genre of music am I making? It's pretty like it's hard. How about this? If you go to a YouTube channel called Roxy Leehart, RoxyLeeheart, that is my old music channel. And I have a video up there. It was the last video I posted talking about the album. And I talk about the genre and all that stuff. If you want to dive deep into that, please do. Otherwise, like the best I can say is like beach goth. That's kind of what we call it. Which is very me. I am a beach. I mean, I wouldn't call myself goth, but I'm a dark beach girl. Whatever, it doesn't matter, who cares. Any hoodles, it's gonna be fucking great. And if you want to get a little sample, I wouldn't say that the stuff on the money, the Rollin' in Dough album sounds anything like my album, except in the fact that it sounds like me and Malachi. Like the songs are not, I wouldn't say that it's like, I don't know, I mean, it's a Malachi track, so it's gonna sound like Malachi. So check out, if you're asking about genre, check out our wealth affirmations on iTunes or Spotify. Search Roxy Talks, and it's called Rollin' in Dough. Otherwise, there's a couple of the videos here on YouTube, or you can download the deluxe version at my website, roxytalks.com. Tiffany, I love you, says, I asked this with all the love in my heart. Is there a particular reason the SP topics are so popular all over social media? So many love readings on YouTube. LOL, just wonder. I don't know. Like, I think that ultimately, I think it's because humans just have that need to like be with somebody. Like we have this like need to be around others, that like human need of acceptance from the pack kind of a thing. And I think that because of the nature of social media, how do I say this? I'm just going to affirm this here. And I should change my story, and I'm gonna. But as of right now, to answer your question, I think that a lot of us, that social media is social media is a tool to break down your self-worth, is almost what it's like. Like every single time you log into your social media, you're getting shown what other people have that you don't. And if that's a problem for you, if you can't look at other people's success and feel like joyful for them. And this, I mean, it's not even that. It's not even that, because it's like, you could be dealing with weight or whatever, and then go on there and see a bunch of food or people working out, or you could be dealing with money, having to pay your bills, and you see people fucking, showing their Lambos and all this shit. Like there's so many different ways that you could get triggered in social media, but it's like that's all it is in my, like, when I look at it from the outside, like I just see distraction and trigger. It's like a trigger machine that distracts you from the fact that you're triggered by triggering you over and over and over and distracting you over and over and over again. And those two, that combined with people's need to, or, that biological need to be a part of a partnership that humans have, combined with the just the nature of social media to make you feel less than your value. Those two things combined, I think, is why the love thing is so big in all of it. And I just wish people could understand that, like, being cool by yourself is the second love comes in. Like, if you can just get to the point where you're like, you know what? Like I said in the beginning, I said this in the beginning, people act like manifesting their SP is life and death. Like the desperation with which some people message me sometimes about their SP, it's crazy. Like you probably guys don't even understand. Like I've had voice notes of people crying at 3:00 in the morning, just begging me for advice about their SP. And it's like, not that I don't understand that the human need to be loved and stuff like that, but it's just so, I'm like, all this over this motherfucking asshole down the street that's not giving you the time of day? You want to end your life for that shit? And I just like, it's just so, God, I just wish I could reach, like, I've spent 2 years working on reaching people through words. And actually, as I'm saying this right now, I'm getting a fucking understanding in my own self right now. Oh, and it's bringing back my meditation from this morning, is like elevation. I'm bouncing from topic to topic. Sorry. I'm just like, I'm making connections in my head, and elevating. Like I've been working 2 years to use words to explain to people that their SPs has nothing to do with their happiness. Their SP has nothing to do with the longevity of your life. Your SP has nothing to do with how successful you are in anything. Like it's all you. And every time you think that you're not going to be happy till someone else provides it for you, you're just making the fucking process longer. And so now that I've worked for 2 years to do it with words, I'm going to work however next long to do it with music. And hopefully that it is my intention that the music will speak to people in a more subconscious way, so that they can really get the uptake of this information and really start to see, like, okay, my SP has nothing to fucking do with why I'm miserable. Right there. Your SP has nothing to do with why you're miserable. Or your lack of an SP, whatever, all of it. Like it has nothing to do with it. So like you're miserable, and that's why you have that specific SP that's bringing out more misery within you. It's because you're miserable, and they're going to make it known for you, not the other way around. Oh yeah, and I just want to finish the thought that I almost said earlier. At the beginning, I said people act like the SP is life and death. And I want to be like, you're alive right now and you don't have them. So how the fuck can you tell me it's life and death when you're literally living? You got to be living to type this bullshit into the chat. So how the fuck is your SP life and death when you're alive right now? How are you going to die without them when you're not dead yet? Like, what do you mean? And I don't mean to be flippant about it. Like, I definitely don't want to be flippant about life and value and living and choosing to live and those things like that. I have been there. I know what that feels like. So, but I also like understand that like, it's focusing on the outside shit that gets you to that place, right? And not putting the love where it needs to be, which is this way. Royal Rizos, thank you so much for the super chat. Says, hey Roxy, if I want to be in a relationship but I'm neutral on whether if it's my SP or another person, what does that say about my self-concept? I would say that question's a little vague, but it's interesting because the question's vague, but you're also asking kind of about a vagueness, right? You're not specific in what you want. And so that I would say, like, I can't, okay, how do I say this? I can only answer your question with the amount of information you've given me, and you've given me so little information that feels like the answer to me is that what does it say about your self-concept? Not specific enough. Sounds vague. Sounds pretty, I don't want to say bland, but I feel flat is what I'm hearing. And I don't know if that's the truth, but again, I can only go off of like what I see in this. And it's like, what's going to bring in love for you is not like, I'm not saying, okay, I'm pick this person and it can't be the other person. I mean more like I have amazing love in my life. I can get it from here. I can get it from here. I can get it from over there. I definitely get it from here. I'm getting it in here all the time. And the universe keeps bringing me all these amazing people that are going to help me bring out more love in my life. And that's great. I have an abundance of love. So when you have two SPs, this is not like it's a problem of abundance, right? It's a crisis of abundance. It's a good thing. You're doing so well. You have so much love around you is the way we want to look at it. And also intending that, you know what, as I focus less on like what to do about these two people or trying to choose between the two or weighing the pros and cons, I'm actually just going to focus on filling this with appreciation, joy, happiness, excitement, satisfaction, fulfillment, yada yada. And then I'll let the universe show me. I'll know exactly who's the right person for me because it'll just fall into place and work exactly the way it's supposed to. And in the meantime, I'm going to enjoy being me because all I'm doing is making myself happy every single day. Of course, I'm going to enjoy. Like, okay, here's another thing. If you're waiting on an SP and it's really fucking hard for you, you're not doing enough stuff to make yourself happy. If you were doing stuff to make yourself happy all day long, you wouldn't notice that you're waiting on anything. And B, you wouldn't care. You'd be like, bitch, maybe you should stay. Wait, why don't you wait till tomorrow? I was actually really enjoying today. And, it wouldn't be about this, like, when is it going to come? It'd be like, oh shit, you're here already? Damn, the time flew because I was having so much fun. Like that kind of, that idea. If you can make please yourself in what other ways that you can that don't insinuate that you must have someone else there to do it for you, because it's not true. When you let someone else make you happy, all you're doing is allowing yourself to feel more happiness within you, but it's already there. They're not giving you their happiness. They're not giving you anything. You're allowing yourself to unlock more of it that's already there. So you can do that now. You don't have to wait for them to tell you that you can, or to say some magic words that allow you to that allow you to declare it. Like, you can just declare it and be it now. Okay. I hope I've gotten through all the super chats. Shit. There's another one. Okay. Ariana, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate you. Did somebody say Valley Ghoul? Oh my God, where is that? Genre of Valley Ghoul. I love it. I love it, but I'm totally not a Valley girl. Like, I'm a beach girl through and through. Like, I grew up on the coast. Like, I've never lived in the Valley, actually. So I'm not a Valley girl, even though I may talk like what we think a Valley girl is, but I'm a beach girl for sure. So, but I love the idea of what did you call it? Valley Ghoul. Yes, love it. Yes. Okay. Where did that go? Okay, super chat. What is your opinion on using marijuana and or alcohol when manifesting? Do you think those are blocks? Do you think these are blocks, or are they helpful? Okay. A few things. First off, I don't know, using marijuana or alcohol when manifesting. You're always manifesting. You're always manifesting. So when you're using marijuana, you're using it in manifesting. When you're using alcohol, you're using it in manifesting. Do you mean using it to manifest? I I don't know. This question, it's kind of hard for me to say because it's like, you're already manifesting, right? And my personal opinion on marijuana and alcohol are my own personal opinions on them. So like that has nothing to do with, like, that is irrelevant to your life. Um, but one thing I will say about alcohol is that, and I guess this can happen with marijuana too, but I guess like, okay, you know, when you're drinking alcohol and you get to a certain point when you're upset or you're mad or you're sad or you're spiraling, and when you're drunk, it's almost like you can't get out of that space. Like, maybe that's just me, but like I wasn't like, when I used to drink, I was never like an angry drunk. But if I did get triggered when drunk, I would be a sad drunk, and then it would just be all the like basically thinking about my dead sister, cousin. And then that would just be like, then for the rest of the night, I'm fucking sobbing and I'm thinking about the lack of love, this person in my life, right? So my thing with alcohol is that if you're using it, I don't know, it's just such a gray area. Like, I don't know. My gripe with it mostly is that when it gets to that point when you're like in a point of no return and you're spiraling or you're angry or you're upset or you're sad, it's almost like you can't get out of it because you're drunk. And that to me is really damaging, because then you could be like, if you get into drama or you cry or you get triggered or whatever, and then you're dealing with all that and then you pass out and you're still in that energy, it's like, that's a long time of being in that energy of being triggered and being like emotionally just like fucked. That it just, to me, feels counterproductive for manifesting. So, but yeah, and then Amy says, I was literally about to say it's a personal opinion. It's kind of a personal opinion too, and it's a personal experience because alcohol and marijuana affect every single person differently. So it's, it's like kind of like your own deal. I don't know. It's hard for me to answer that question. Oh, Powers of Tarot says, I think there can be benefits in moderation, but I think you have to be very honest about your intentions with using it. Are you using it to be happy, or are you happy anyway? Yeah. Natalie, how do you get more specific on what you want? I don't know. Maybe try journaling, asking or meditation. What do I want? Well, what would it look like if I had this? If I could have anything and there were no not consequences, but there are no like limitations, what would I have? If I could have anything and I didn't need to have any prerequisites, what would I have? Like if I could pick the absolute best outcome reality for myself, what would it look like? And just kind of like letting yourself like spiral in that direction, write it down, and make a list. And every time it comes to you, add to your list, things like that. There's ways to do it like that. I'd say writing down helps because it gets it out of your head. Okay. Jim says, if we imagine from the end, don't we just slack off and do nothing? I feel like if I imagine from the end, I don't feel like taking any action. Okay. First of all, that's okay. Two things. I feel like, okay, here's where I see this going in the right direction and then forking in the wrong direction. So if we imagine from the end, don't we just slack off and do nothing? Well, no, like maybe you're a slacker. That might be something that you personally need to work on, is like, okay, I'm sorry, I'm getting information as I'm saying this out loud. Motivate. If you need to work on motivation, if you need to motivate yourself to do something, then you're not doing the right stuff. And I spoke on that earlier about being drained. If you're drained by what you're doing, then you're not doing the right shit. Because if you were doing the right shit, you would feel energized by it. So where did this message go? Don't we just slack off and do nothing? To me, that tells me that's more about you. That's more about your idea of that. Okay, here I'm getting more information. Sorry, that sounded really weird. I get like they just come into, it's like a transmission. So this tells me that you think that hard work is required to gain. And if hard work is required to gain, then yeah, if you slack off, you get nothing. But if hard work is just a fucking illusion, and it's the story that I have to work hard in order to get because I'm not good enough without working hard, that you really realize is at play, then you understand you don't have to do absolutely fucking anything to get what you want, except to continue to be in a good space and feel good. When you feel good and you're just operating off of life's great and I'm just kind of following the flow, you will be led to the action that you want to take. But if you say, okay, I'm going to imagine from the end and I'm just going to do fucking nothing because apparently I don't have to goddamn do fucking thing anyways, even though you're supposed to work hard, but I'm going to do nothing. I'm just going to slack off here. Like, that's not the fucking attitude to have about it. That's not going to bring it into you because you're just denying it. You're pushing it away. You're just hammering in your old story. So when you're going to imagine from the end and then let it just happen, you're not going to tell yourself, oh, I'm slacking. I'm probably not going to get it. You're going to, maybe if you do have that thought, you're going to say, actually, I don't have to fucking do anything to get it except continue to know that it's on my way and just keep myself away from thoughts like that bullshit I just tried to tell myself. Okay. Oh, back to the drinking question. Bevo says, I feel like getting too drunk makes people more susceptible to being triggered by unresolved emotional issues, and people tend to recreate their destructive patterns when drunk. There you go. What about people who become more open and expressive? Those would probably, if we're going off of what Bevo said, then those would probably be repressed people who hold back all the time and don't actually let out what they need to say. And so when they do drink, they feel like they can express it. They feel less inhibition. Sylvia says, my SP hasn't replied to my message when I asked him to meet again. We haven't been in contact, or we've been in contact, no contact for 4 months. And I did so much work on my self-concept. What can I do? Stop looking for your SP for validation. Like, if they're not messaging you back, why? What are you saying about them? Where are you fearing it? Why are you reacting? Why aren't you going back into your manifestation? Where is your practice falling off? Maybe you worked on your self-concept, but it doesn't sound like you worked on your discipline at manifesting because you're reacting to your story. And you're letting them tell you what's going on instead of persisting through the fact that they always contact you. You're always in contact. And every time you message them, they respond. And then not worrying about whether you're going to meet them again, not worrying about whether they're responding, not telling the story that they're not calling it no contact. If you call it no contact, how do you expect to get contact? You're in no contact. Quit fucking calling it that. Spoken with kindness. Like, I'm in no contact. How come they're not reaching out? Will you stop calling it that maybe for one? Like, that, start there. Sorry, not to get an attitude with you. It's just, this is just how it comes out. And I mean it with love. Jim says, so it will come by itself when you're in alignment. Essentially, but it's more like, how about this? Where your alignment exists, so does that thing. Because let me say it in an even different way. You having what you want is a reality already in existence. So when you can embody that energetically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, that thing is already there. So it's already yours. You are putting yourself into the space where it is in existence already. Amy, does anyone have any good affirmation for not being my cat scratching pad? Yeah. Say that anything but you is. Sorry, said with love. Sometimes I look at these questions and I'm just like, I mean, you answered it right there. A good affirmation for my cat not being my scratching post. Literally, yeah, that thing over there is my cat scratching post. They love scratching on it. They always do. It's their favorite thing. They love scratching on that thing over there. They respect our sacred space. Amy says, I wanted to send some humor. Sometimes the humor does not come through in the text. All I see is black and white. All right. Do you guys want to talk about tips on how to stay patient? Rachel, I just made a podcast about that like maybe 2 weeks ago. So check my old podcast episode, not old, but check some of the recent podcast episodes for that specific topic. Oh boy. Amy says, I'm just going to imagine her using her damn scratch pad. There you go. Quit imagining her using you as your scratching pad. Even if the imagining is happening while she's doing it too in the 3D process, who cares? You're imagining it now. That means she's going to do it tomorrow. Hi, Mina. Hello. All right. I'm going to do last call for super chats. And if anybody has any ideas for what they want to see on the next week's podcast episode, I'll take ideas here. Otherwise, this coming week's podcast, airing this Wednesday, 9 a.m. PST, is an interview with Alea Lovely from the Spiritual Shit podcast. And she's talking about how to be a manifester and be spiritual. So it's definitely good information for us here in my community, because I am often speaking on the mental side of stuff. And so this is talking about more of that like deeper intuitive connection. So make sure you check out this week's podcast episode, which airs Wednesday, 9 a.m. You can find it at wherever they run podcasts, it's on there, or roxytalks.com as well. And if you're asking about money, literally this last week's podcast was just about that. So check out last week's podcast. Afro Juju, hello, says, can you give me some affirmations to dislike sugar? I'm becoming more healthy, and I think these affirmations will help me win. Okay, so how about, instead of affirmations to dislike sugar, how about affirmations to like other things that aren't so full with sugar? Or affirmations that describe you swapping, like, you know, like a refined white sugar, whatever, for a natural, you know, naturally occurring sugar, something like that. So I would be saying things like, you know, actually, I just heard in my head, ooh, I get to have my fruit now. But that's like literally something I say because I don't want it to be like, oh, I have fruit for dessert. Like for my meal plan, like I have to have a fruit. But instead, if I say, ooh, I get to have my fruit now, whether or not I fucking want a piece of fruit or not, whether I'd rather have a fucking cupcake or a cookie is irrelevant. Ooh, I get to have my fruit now. That's one. And that's a real affirmation coming from somebody that like, that's like really what I'm saying. So, ooh, I get to have my fruit now. Or like, you know, I love blank, 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 blank. I love getting my nutrients from blank. I love that I'm so healthy now. I love that I'm so fit. I'm so on top of my shit. We're writing poetry already. You know, I love being healthy. I love this new way of eating, or this new way of, you know, looking at food. My body responds really well to this stuff. Like I would say describing what you want it to be instead of trying to find a way to deny it. You know what I mean? Like I heard someone ask me, like, don't I have to detach first to let go? And it's like, well, if you attach to something else, something better, just you attaching to something else just automatically implies the detaching from the other thing. So instead of affirmations to dislike sugar, turn your focus on how much you love and appreciate all of the healthy forms of nutrients that you're getting, etc., and how well your body is responding. Yada, yada, yada. Malachi's here. Hi, Malachi. I told your business, and I'm really sorry. In the beginning, I gotta come clean. In the beginning of this live stream, I talked about how you got an opportunity recently from somebody who did you dirty in the past. I didn't give any details. And that we basically told him to fuck off. I did tell that story. If that guy is watching, he deserves to know that we feel this way. He probably isn't, so we're okay. I didn't give any details. But halfway through, I was like, wait a minute, why am I telling Malachi's fucking business? He said, LOL, that's fine. Thank you. I was using it to demonstrate a story about, someone was asking about retrograde, and that's why I brought it up, because you were like literally asked my professional opinion about it yesterday. So thanks, Maui. Okay. Brad, hello. Powers of Tarot asking about manifesting beauty and clear skin. I have a few videos on manifesting physical changes and physical traits and stuff. Jazz, thank you so much for the super chat. Says, how do I stop spiraling about thinking my SP will find out about my past and not want to be with me? We have some mutual friends and I'm worried he'll care. All right. This issue is that you think your past is a problem. So you feel guilty about it. You feel bad about it. You think it's a problem. And therefore you think that someone else is going to not accept you for it because you can't accept it. So at the root of it is what my intuition is telling me. So the deal is to start accepting yourself. You had a past. We all do. It's totally fine. Like, listen, I don't know what it has to do with, but I'm just going to say this. Like, when people turn like 18, you have, and this goes for like I feel like it's at least the first half of your 20s, if not more. Cause you know, if you're lucky, you'll make observations and work on your behavior, and not that it's bad. I'm not saying anything bad, but like at 18 years old, we need to start looking at ourselves and realizing that we're children who've just been given the green light to go out and do whatever it is that we want with our time, our genitals, our mouths, our minds, anything, our money. So if you did stuff, great, you lived. That's it. That's it. There's nothing to be ashamed of. There's nothing to feel bad about. And I want you to start there and start with accepting what you did and knowing that it made you who you are. You learned from it. You've grown from it. You're going to look back on it and be like, I fucking did that one day. It's not going to matter. So how do you stop spiraling about it? One, self-acceptance and allowing yourself to have that and just be like, yeah, I did that and I'm fine. And I love myself for it. And that's totally fucking fine. And if you have a problem with it, that's your problem, not mine. And then when you start thinking about whether they find out about it, let them. That's what I say. Tell yourself, if they find out, that's fine. I hope they find out because I'm proud of my past and I know they will be too. You're changing the story because with this fear, what you're saying is that I feel shitty about what I've done and I'm assuming that they will also treat me as shitty as I feel I am, or maybe worse. They'll treat me even worse than I feel. And then I'll have to feel it from someone else. And then I have to know that they think I'm a shitty person too. I already feel shitty. Now they're going to think I'm shitty. And then maybe they'll tell other people who are also going to think I'm shitty. Well, if you don't think you're shitty for it, then what they think about you is irrelevant. And approaching a situation by saying like, I mean, I don't fucking care if you don't like me. Like, if you don't like me, what the fuck do I have? Why would I want to be around you? If you think I'm a shitty person because of what I did in my past and how I've grown, then maybe we don't need to be friends. Maybe we don't need to be hanging out. And beyond that, again, you can manifest them being however you want them to be, but you have to not think that it's going to be a problem if they do find out. And if they, it's like, there's two things that you got going on. You have the worry that they will find out, and then the what happens if they do. So the worry that they're going to find out, who cares if they find out? So what? They have a past too. You're not judging them. And if they find out, what are they going to think? Nothing. They're just going to be like, oh, okay, cool. I do stuff too. Want to hear my story? Like I'm just saying, like you have to expect something different if you want a different outcome. Otherwise, you spiraling on this is just going to create that. And so when you're having those thoughts, you need to redirect them. You need to answer back to them. I don't care if they find out. I don't care if they think that. They're not going to think that because I don't think that. Why would they think that? They're mirroring me. I think I'm great. I love the fact that I've experienced this and grown. I love the fact that I'm new. I'm a new person or different than I was before before I had experienced that. Because now I know. Now I know more about myself and what I do and don't want in life and what I will and won't do and what I will and won't stand for. It's a good thing. It's all data. It's all information. And listen, nobody outside of Earth is judging you for what you did. No one outside of you is judging you for what you did. So stop judging yourself, and then you won't see it reflected back in your world. And if you do, redirect your thought. And if you come back to it, redirect your thought again. If you come back to it, redirect your thought again. Work on feeling love and fulfillment and glad and proud of yourself so that you don't have as many doubts to flip. And then if you do have doubts come up, then redirect them. Podcast idea, Tiffany says, how the universe communicates with you and how to hear/receive what is being said to you as your guidance. Thanks, Tiffany. Tiffany always, I don't know why. Well, probably because I keep affirming it, but Tiffany always gives me my podcast idea. You probably supplied like at least 50% of my podcast ideas. You alone. Leanne, can you please copy that and send that back to me for podcast? How the universe communicates with you and how to hear/receive what is being said to you as your guidance. Nice. Thanks, TF. And yeah, and as Leanne is linking as well, and I'll bring this up in the podcast as well, we do have a meditation, what would you call it? Like topic in the forum. So if I have a forum chat set up where you can go and talk about what you've experienced in meditation, what you've seen, what you've heard, things like that. Tiffany says, I just asked what I want to know. And hey, the people want to know too. The people want to know too. Ashley Rose Tips Manifest Health. I had a podcast earlier this summer from June, either late May or June, on the exact same thing. Head over to my podcast to check that out. Garima, how do you work on the consistency part of your thoughts and manifestation? I find myself getting a bit bored or unmotivated at times. Okay. Again, if you're unmotivated, you're not doing the right thing. If you're unmotivated by what you're manifesting, the fuck are you manifesting that shit for? You know what I mean? Like, why are you manifesting some mediocre shit that can't even keep your attention? I would just say you need to fucking turn your shit up. You deserve a lot more than you're allowing yourself to think of, just from that sentence. And if you're bored, yeah, add some more stuff in there. Don't you want more than what you got? More than even what you're manifesting? Add more in there. Amp up the volume. Turn it up, because it sounds like you need more, like higher quality. And work on consistency. It's like, to me, it's day in, day out. It's every single thought is manifesting your reality, period. That's inescapable. So in my personal belief, if I know that every single thought of mine is manifesting my reality, then I'm going to do whatever I can to control every single thought. I'm going to do whatever I can to control every single thought that I can get a hold of. That's how I operate, because I don't like I pick what I get to do. That's how I am as a person. I pick my choice. So if that's the case, which it is, and that's great, then all I have to do is control what I think about and the way that I think about it, and the rest of it does the work on its own. In the meantime, I spend my time making myself happy, not focusing on stress, not entertaining lack, doubt, insecurity, worry, fear, because I have them just like everybody else, but I just don't listen to them. I don't let them take over. And if I catch myself listening to them, I switch to a different thought, switch to a different frequency. I ask myself why I'm feeling like that. I notice what patterns I'm doing in the physical world to bring more of that stuff into me. Why am I triggered? What have I been doing since I've been triggered? How am I dealing with it? Am I thinking the right thoughts? Like, I'm always doing self-evaluation. I'm always paying attention to what I say. And like anybody that's ever had a session with me or talked to me, anything, like, even on here, you catch me like catching myself about to say something and then evaluating it and then saying it just so it's a little bit better all the time. I do that all the time. That's just, I just have made a habit of it. I just started making myself do it. And it just became a habit, just like working out or eating right, or, I'm going to eat breakfast every day for a month. It's that kind of shit. I'm going to make sure that I don't think thoughts that have to do with my doubt, worry, lack, or fear for more than a second or two before I catch them and get them out, if they're there. And I mean that, because if they come in my mind, okay, do I get them out? Great, then success. If I let them sit there, I've got work to do. And what does that work require? It requires me, or what does that work entail? It entails me making myself happy and keeping my thoughts away from that bullshit again, because that bullshit is manifesting. And when it does manifest, if I'm not practiced at not reacting to those triggers and manifesting it all over again, then I'm going to fucking just be in this cycle forever. I see a lot of people here consuming so much content and so much information and then folding every single time they get triggered. Every single time their 3D reality shows up the old way. Why isn't it working? Because you just said that. I never fucking say my manifestation's not working. I don't even want to finish that. I literally couldn't even finish that sentence. My body cut that fucking word off. Like, it's so stupid to me and so dumb and such a waste of a fucking affirmation and a moment and a manifestation to ever give power to the idea that things aren't fucking working for you, or that it's hard, or that's not, like, it's just like, pay attention to yourself. Awareness and discipline. It always comes down to that. It's always that. It's always that. All right. Jalen, thank you so much. You're so sweet. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you. Okay. Okay. All right. It's time. Crypto Barbie says, I chose my music over promotion at my corporate job. I manifested the universe will give me a sign I made the right choice. My music video got 120K views the next day. Yes! That's what I'm talking about. Following the fucking passion. Bruja, high quality. This is my last question. This is going to be the last question I answer. Oh, and Candace, can you post the current scripting link? Yes, they will. Thank you, Candace. Okay. Bruja, high quality thoughts are positive thoughts and thoughts that affirm you have what you want, right? Could you please talk more about exactly what are high quality thoughts? Okay. A high quality thought can be, let's say, something that affirms your chosen reality. So if the thought you think or the sentence you utter or speak would exist within your chosen 3D reality, then it's fine. Good to go. That counts as high quality because it's getting you to your ideal, and your ideal, we've already decided, is higher quality than your current, right? Probably. So essentially, any thought that moves you towards your ideal reality is high quality. It's higher quality than things that keep you here or worse, right? Or productive. I like to use the word productive, meaning a thought that exists in your ideal reality, because your 3D reality is being made constantly by the thoughts you think and the words that you say and the sentences that you say. That's not going to ever stop until you die. When you're in the worst reality that you can fathom versus the best absolute reality that you can fathom, a few things are going to be true. You're still going to be you. You're still going to have your same old doubts, fears, worries, beliefs, limiting and triggers. It's still there. You just learn how to react differently to it. And the third thing that's going to be true is that you're still manifesting with every thought in every single moment, whether you're in your best reality or your worst or anywhere in between. You're still about to go somewhere else. In every moment, you're going somewhere else next. So if anything, like literally anything you think or say is taking you somewhere, if you don't want to go where that thought takes you, then don't fucking think or say it. That's the way it breaks down to. So if the thought I'm about to say about my reality is like equivalent to the one I'm in, if I've decided I want to, go better, or it's something that could like bring me down or detract or like, affirm doubt, lack, worry, insecurity, anything like that, then it's not high quality. It's not productive. It's not going to get me where I want to go. And therefore, it's just a waste of a thought, in my opinion. Bevo, high quality thought, anything born from Roxy's mind. I mean, I'm going to go ahead and affirm and just say, yeah, that's the truth. But really, it's your mind. Like, I just don't want to not affirm that because I'm not going to do that to myself. But your mind has got all the power in it, in your reality. Sanam says, I think a high quality thought is also something that helps you genuinely release resistance, not just a cookie cutter affirmations you think you should use that make you feel crap. Yeah. Yeah. I don't like, yeah. Like I said, every single thought you think is an affirmation. They're all affirmations. You're constantly affirming. You have never not been affirming since the moment you were fucking born. Okay. So if that's the case, then what are you affirming? Autumn Wolf, greetings from Alaska. Hello, Alaska. Amy LeBlanc says, some say our dominant thoughts create. All your thoughts create. Your dominant ones just steer the fucking ship. Right? All of your thoughts create. The dominant ones are going to make the reality dominant. Like the whatever the... Come on. You know what I'm saying? Your dominant thoughts create because they have more power. So the winds are going to be swayed in that direction. Like every thought you think or sentence you speak is voting for a reality. And if you vote more times for the reality you don't want to be in, that's where you're going to stay and live. If you vote more times with your thoughts and sentences for a reality you do want to be in, then you're going to move yourself towards that. And yes, everything is working out best case scenario. All right. So I love you all. I appreciate you. Everything is working out best case scenario. Everything is working out for your highest good. If you're working on, oh, Sally, hi, Sally. If you're working on manifesting a specific person or working on love, I have a free masterclass on my website, roxytalks.com. Click the free resources tab. Otherwise, we have a self-study course, the specific person workshop that you can get started on right now. If you are dealing with money manifestation situation, check out Malachi and I have a brand new album out on iTunes and Spotify and all those places called Rollin' in Dough. If you search Roxy Talks, you'll find it there, or you can buy the deluxe version at my website, roxytalks.com. If you are working on trying to get a new practice and like change your life and be really on top of keeping control of your manifestations and your affirmations and all that stuff, check out my 30 days of alignment. That's how I personally kickstarted my entire life shifting. And I also, have my personal method, 360 method, which is it's coming very soon, coming at the top of the year. But you can work with me directly one-on-one if you would like me to help you apply 360 method to your situation. One-on-one coaching can help identify limiting beliefs, help you with your blocks, help you figure out your new affirmations, choose your new reality, make sense of what's going on with you, help you with your manifestations. All that stuff happens in one-on-one coaching, and everything I've just talked about is available at roxytalks.com. Kelsey says, vibe and high after this. Thanks so much, Roxy. Yes, thanks, Kelsey. Appreciate you. Yes, Autumn. I have to put this up because your emojis are cute. Things always work out for me. Best case scenario. Yes, they do. And shoot, we had homework last week. Oh, was it flame? Was last week the flame meditation? Okay, I can't remember what last week's homework was. So this week's homework. Oh, Despicable E just found the album on Spotify. Yes. Oh, and Leanne linked my one-on-one. If you want one-on-one sessions, yeah, I do. I think I have a few sessions left in October. No, I think the first 2 weeks of October are already done. So pin to the chat if you want to sign up for one-on-one coaching and get in the month of October. Leanne has just linked that to the chat on YouTube. And Neelam, thanks for the compliment. Okay, Dina and Christina. Oh, cute. It rhymes. Thanks. It was flame meditation. So let's talk about that in just a second. We do have a super chat. Let me just address this. Oh, Fakiha, you're so sweet. Thank you. Alicia says, and thanks for the super chat. Alicia says, hi, started working out consistently last week. Haven't done that in years. How do I stay focused on the journey instead of thinking about the stress of the end result / stream body? Okay, part of me is saying something is like I'm hearing a voice is saying set goals that have nothing to do with weight loss. Like I can stay on the treadmill for 15 minutes and next week I'm going to stay on for 20 minutes. Or last week I can only do 12 reps. Now I can do 15. That's what I heard first is set goals for yourself for the weeks. Like each week you have a new goal. This week I did 14. Next week we're doing 16. Again, something like that. So that you can see progress over time that doesn't have to do with numbers on the scale, what you look like, all that stuff like that. Also things like, okay, I'm going to have 5 salads this week. I don't know. I'm just making shit up. You have your 5 salads, doing my thing. Like you're giving yourself reasons to celebrate that have nothing to do with what you look like or like what you think about yourself, And also I would say, like, if you're working out consistently, keep doing that. Obviously do more workout. Again, this is just what my intuition is telling me. Doing more workouts that are fun to you, that aren't necessarily like just being in the gym pumping iron, unless you like that. Doing more things that are like, like playing volleyball, or like running through the waves, or, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. That's more like fun oriented, working more of that also into, if you have your workouts, work more fun stuff, fun activities in. And then you should please watch my manifesting weight loss video here on YouTube, because I want you to learn how to talk about yourself and how to look at yourself when you're in that process. But like, basically, like, no matter what you see with your eyeballs, you have to tell yourself you look great. You are in your ideal body. Like, I used to say, oh, I'm so skinny, but now I've been saying I'm fit. I don't necessarily want to be skinny. And I don't want to like manifest some sort of illness that like makes me lose like, 80 pounds and I'm like frail and super thin. Like, I want to be fit, not just skinny, So, and now after the experience I had this year with illnesses and stuff, I just want to, be careful of how I'm affirming and stuff like that. But, and also knowing that I'm healthy ultimately, and no matter what happens to me, I'll always persevere and come out on top. But, same thing is just like looking at what your body and being like, damn, I look good. And looking at the scale and being like, woo, that number's going down. Even if it's not, if you're looking at the stuff, if you're looking at the body weight, you're looking at the self-worth, if you're looking at the numbers on the scale, you got to pretend that it says what you want it to say. And if it's self-worth based, then you need to pretend that you're telling yourself what you want to say. You got to say that. Even if you don't feel it, you say that you feel that way about yourself. Okay. Oh, I hope that makes sense. Ooh, Brendan says learning choreography. Yeah, totally. I know. I've been wanting to get a choreographer too, because I have a music video coming up. Any choreographers in LA, hit me up. Okay. Oh, Leanne, I like that. Virtual walks with friends. That's so fun. That's such a good idea. Like, go on a walk with your friend. Like, they go on a walk and you go on a walk and you talk. I love it. Amy says kickboxing. Brendan says biking or walking with friends. Yeah, totally. Okay, so we did flame. Anyone do flame meditation last week? What I noticed with the flame meditation, I should have done it longer. I'm going to do it again. But I noticed that it was really easy to get myself into a trance really fast. Somebody commented on Mindset Monday last week and said, what was it? What was it? Yeah. So closing your eyes on the inhale and then opening your eyes on the exhale and watching the flame. Closing your eyes on the inhale, open your eyes and watch the flame, like stare at the flame on the exhale, and going back and forth and doing that. And I found that it was really easy to put myself into a trance like really fast. So I thought that was, if I had more time to, which I always have tons of time, when I do it again, I'll probably get more into it, and who knows what will come of it. So Panda says, yes, helps you focus better. Leanne said, I did the meditation with fire, my first fire of the fall. Nice. You didn't go to a trance, your mind was racing. Interesting. Okay. Oh, also, oh my gosh, you guys, I charged my crystals under the full moon. Remember I told you I would do it? I charged my crystals under the full moon, and I've been having the craziest, like, I've just been having these profound ass meditations for the last like 5 days, maybe like 3 or 4 days. And like in my meditation, my crystal's been like moving. Like I'll have, like in one of them, I had my hand open like this, and it was like gyrating in my open palm. So I think it got charged up. I think September charged it up. Anyhow, all right, I gotta go. I gotta record this podcast. I love you all so much. What's homework for? Let's see. Okay, we need a group affirmation. You know what I heard in my head? And this, again, is a shout out to Kyle Cease. I've been listening to a lot of Kyle Cease lately. I really like the way that he breaks things down. I am a work in progress, and I absolutely love that. That's our group affirmation. I'm a work in progress, and I absolutely love that. And you'll always be a work in progress. Like Esther Hicks says, like the work is never done. The asking is never done. Step one's never done. Because every time you get something new, it just gives you more to want to achieve. I'm a work in progress, and I absolutely love that. Give yourself space to be a work in progress, meaning that you are learning every single day, and it's okay to not have all the answers, not have it all right now. You could never have it all. All right, and your homework. I want everyone to make a list. I want you to make an ongoing list, and I want you to add to it all week long. Every time an idea pops in your head, what are the ways I limit myself? How am I limiting myself? In what ways do I limit myself? And what I want you to do is just open up the door to this question, or take the lid off the box, and then just and then do nothing. Let whatever's going to come out of the box come out of it in its own time, or let whatever's going to walk through that door walk through in its own time. Don't try to force it. But I want you to keep a list. In what ways do you limit yourself? How am I limiting myself? And then, keep this list for a week. We'll come back next week and kind of talk about them together so everyone knows that, they're not alone. But understand that every way that you're limiting yourself it's all fake, and it's all just like, it's literally like the reason that you limit whatever you think is a problem is literally why you can't have it, because you're saying that thing specifically is a problem, and then that you can't have it because of that. So ongoing homework this week, just start a list right now. In what ways do I limit myself? Or how am I limiting myself? What do I do to limit myself? That stuff like that. And then you don't even have to fill it out yet. You don't even have to put one thing on it. If nothing comes to you, don't try to force it, but observe and notice, wait a minute, do I really have to think that, or is that limiting? Just pay attention to what you're doing throughout the week, and then put it on your little list, and just kind of like look at it and help. Bevo says, but don't affirm the way you're already doing it. And I mean this like with kindness, like don't be afraid of affirming the way you're limiting yourself. You're already doing it. And this is why we're making this list, because it's so buried within you that you don't realize you're doing it. The only way to make you stop is for you to realize that you're doing it, and then stop yourself from doing it every single fucking time you want to do it again. But that starts with knowing that you're doing it, and knowing that you're doing it starts with acknowledging that when you do it. So I'm not saying go through and affirm that you're doing all these things, but you're already limiting yourself this way. That's why we're asking, in what ways am I limiting myself? Because I need to know so that I don't do this anymore. So that's your homework. Again, group affirmation, if you feel like it, we're going to affirm this one more time. I am a work in progress, and I absolutely love that. I love the fact that I'm always learning. I love the fact that I'm always shifting. I love the fact that it's never going to be done. I love the fact that I'll never be the same me again. It's great. It's fucking great. Just own it, embrace it, and move forward, because that's the reality of life. And if you can stop pushing against it and fearing change and fearing being uncomfortable and fearing things being different, so many more amazing things can come to you that you haven't even been able to fathom yet, because you haven't allowed yourself to even get near that frequency. So again, I love you all. If you want to connect further with people in your community, go to my website, roxytalks.com/forum, and you can connect. We have a bunch of different forum topics. You can chat with people. We got book club, we got meditations, we got SP. We got all kinds of ways to connect with each other there, roxytalks.com/forum. Also affirmations, music, motivational stuff, free videos, free content, free downloads, free courses, upgraded courses where you can start investing in yourself and working right now, as well as one-on-one coaching if you'd like to talk to me personally and have me help you with your specific situation. Again, that's all at roxytalks.com. New podcast episode airing this Wednesday, 9 a.m. PST with Alea Lovely from the Spiritual Shit Podcast. And Sally, I am a Scorpio. Scorpio sun, Leo rising, Capricorn moon. And with that, I love you. I appreciate you. Be good to yourselves. We're all raising our vibrations together. You have the power. I believe in you. Bye.